The pen weighed like solid iron in my grip, though it was only cheap plastic. The familiar living room of our family home had been turned into a cold, makeshift courtroom. Papers covered every inch of the coffee table. My parents sat on either side of me like sentries, and my brother Marcus sprawled in Dad's leather recliner wearing the smug grin of a man who believed the game was already over. "Sign it or leave this house tonight," my father said again, his voice slicing the air. "You've humiliated us long enough, Delilah. Marcus is taking the reins now." I stared at the stack of transfer agreements. 2 years of sleepless nights, crashing on the office floor, surviving on instant noodles and sheer stubbornness, everything now reduced to one blank line waiting for my name. Byfield Technologies, the AI-powered precision farming startup I had birthed, was about to become another shiny ornament on my brother's shelf of crashed companies. "I built this from zero," I said, almost whispering. "In my dorm, with nothing but a second-hand laptop." My mother gave a brittle laugh. "With whose money, darling? Whose contacts? That first 10,000 came straight from your father's company account. Every introduction, every door that opened, carried the family name. You were just the pretty figurehead. Marcus has the degree. The degree he purchased from some online diploma factory. The same Marcus who had torpedoed 3 ventures in 5 years, each time landing softly on piles of family cash. But I knew better than to argue. It would only trigger the usual sermon about keeping things in the family and how a woman leading a tech firm made the wrong kind of headlines at the country club. "Mr. Harrison dropped these off an hour ago," Marcus said, tapping the documents with lazy confidence. "All it needs is your signature and it's done. Don't drag this out, Lila." Mr. Harrison, the family attorney who had drafted everything without once picking up the phone to ask what I wanted. The same man who, when I was 16, patted my head and said corporate law was too rough for a gentle girl. I lifted the pen. My fingers stayed steady. I refused to give them the tremor they were waiting for. Instead, I let a slow smile spread across my face, the kind that should have set off alarms if anyone in that room had ever truly paid attention. "All right," I said softly. "I'll sign." My mother exhaled like a balloon losing air. My father gave a curt, satisfied nod. Marcus leaned forward, practically salivating to witness the final surrender. I signed with an elegant swirl, then initialed every page exactly where the little flags told me to. 23 pages transferring 100% ownership of Byfield Technologies to Marcus Thorne, effective the moment ink touched paper. "There," my mother cooed, reaching to pat my arm like I was a child who'd finally eaten her vegetables. "See? That wasn't so terrible. You'll be much happier doing something more suitable. Perhaps graduate school? A nice teaching position?" "Perhaps," I answered, rising and straightening my skirt. "I suppose I should start packing." "Your apartment is on the company lease," Marcus offered helpfully. "But I'm generous. I'll give you until Friday to clear out. 3 days to erase the life I had fought for." How magnanimous. I collected my handbag, my laptop case, what remained of my pride. At the front door I paused and looked back. They were already toasting victory. Dad pouring scotch, Marcus thumbing through the company site on his phone, Mom speed dialing her sister to announce that the prodigal daughter had finally seen reason. "Oh, Marcus?" I called sweetly. "You might want to skim the entire document. Particularly section 47. His smirk faltered for half a second. "What are you talking about?" "Nothing major," I said. "Just routine housekeeping. Enjoy your new toy." I walked out, got into my car, and drove to what was now my ex-apartment. I had 72 hours and an ocean of work ahead. But first, I poured a large glass of red and dialed. "Jade? It's done." They all signed. No, none of them read a single line past page 2. I caught my reflection in the black window and smiled like a wolf. Phase 2 begins now. 48 hours later, Marcus was living his best CEO cosplay life. New LinkedIn headline, triumphant selfies in the corner office, meetings booked with our largest clients. He'd even hired a new assistant whose primary qualifications seemed to be long legs and an inability to pronounce machine learning. I watched the circus unfold from a quiet hotel suite, still logged into every company system because, predictably, no one had thought to change the passwords. On day 3, at exactly 9 a.m., section 47 woke up. My phone exploded first, Marcus, of course. "What the hell have you done?" He roared. "Good morning, brother dear," I answered, stirring sugar into my coffee. "Technical difficulties? Everything is locked. Every server, every repository, every file. It's demanding authorization from the chief technical officer." "That would be me," I finished. "You're not the CTO. I own the company now. If you had bothered to read section 47, you would know that while you hold the shares, I retain a permanent, irrevocable position as CTO with absolute technical veto and override rights." It spelled out clearly in subsection C. The silence on the line was delicious. "That's fraud," he finally hissed. "That's contract law," I corrected. "You signed it. Dad witnessed it. Mom notarized it. Ironclad. I'll see you into the ground." "With whose legal budget?" Bytefield's counsel reports directly to the CTO now, subsection F. Oh, and Marcus? Check the company accounts. Another long pause. They're frozen. Dual signature required, CEO and CTO, subsection D. You can look at the money, but you can't spend a cent without my approval. This is extortion. This is leverage, I said. Something you'd recognize if your MBA hadn't come from essayshack.edu. The suite door opened. Jade strolled in carrying a paper bag of croissants and 2 fresh coffees. My actual attorney. My roommate from freshman year. The genius who had spent 6 weeks weaving a spiderweb of devastating clauses inside walls of impenetrable legalese. Put me on speaker, she mouthed. I did. Mr. Thorne, Jade said in her calm courtroom voice. Jade Winters and Associates, counsel for Ms. Delilah Thorne in her capacity as permanent CTO. I'm reaching out to discuss your very limited remaining options. Options? Marcus sputtered. She sabotaged the entire company. She safeguarded proprietary assets against unauthorized access, Jade replied. All perfectly documented in, well, you know which section by now. What do you want? He finally whispered. I took the phone off speaker. This part was personal. I want you to understand something, Marcus. This company isn't lines of code and a fancy logo. It's 2 years I will never get back. Nights I cried over compiler errors instead of going on dates. Weekends I missed weddings and birthdays because a client's irrigation system failed at 2 a.m. Every dollar I didn't spend on clothes or vacations because the server bill was due. I'm not angry anymore, I continued. I'm educating you, something our parents never bothered to do. So here are your choices. Choice 1, you keep the empty title of CEO. You get a salary, an office, business cards, everything that looks good on Instagram. But every technical decision, every line of code, every penny spent goes through me. Choice 2, you sell the entire company back to me for exactly what Dad originally put in, $10,000. $10,000? The company is worth nothing without the software stack I finished for him. Nothing without the engineers who will walk the moment they hear about this stunt. Nothing without the clients who signed with us because of innovation, not because some trust fund fail son smiled at them. Choose. This is insane. These are consequences. Something you've never met in your entire cushion life. You have 24 hours. After that I trigger the dead man switch, subsection M. If anyone attempts to terminate or sideline the CTO without unanimous board consent, and I am the sole board member under subsection K, every line of proprietary code wipes itself permanently. No recovery. Ever. I ended the call and turned to Jade. He'll run to Dad. Already blowing up my phone, she said, tilting the screen so I could see 7 missed calls from Father Dearest. Let him simmer. We spent the day fielding escalating hysteria. Mom threatened to disown me for the 3rd time in my life. Dad promised lawsuits that withered the moment Jade emailed him the fully executed agreement bearing his own witness signature. Marcus cycled between rage texts and pathetic begging. At 8:03 p.m. a new message appeared. Fine. Option 2. I'll sell it back. Too late, I replied. Price just went up. $20,000 now. Emotional distress surcharge. That's robbery. 25 if you argue. Silence. The next morning we met in Jade's sleek downtown office. My entire family filed in like a funeral procession. Mom, Dad, Marcus, even Aunt Linda the realtor who once told me I should marry well instead of chasing all this computer nonsense. They sat opposite Jade and me across a table that probably cost more than Bytefield's first-year revenue. This is vicious, my mother hissed. We're your blood. Blood doesn't steal, I answered. Blood doesn't stage an ambush to strip 2 years of someone's life because the wrong child succeeded. We were protecting the family name. Dad thundered. Marcus has the credentials, Marcus has a glossy certificate and a track record of wreckage. I have revenue, patents, and a team that actually ships code. We are not the same. Marcus shoved a cashier's check across the table. $25,000. I examined it, then pushed it back. I changed my mind. I don't want your money. I looked straight at my brother. I want an apology. From you. Out loud. Explain exactly what you did wrong. His face went scarlet. I tried to see something I didn't build. I dismissed the work you poured into it. I've been doing that since we were kids. Taking credit for your science projects, your essays, your ideas. Enough, Dad growled. No, I said, standing. It's nowhere near enough. Because the lesson here isn't for Marcus alone. It's for all of you who decided my success belonged to the family trust, not to me. I signed the repurchase agreement, officially reclaiming what had always been mine. Then I delivered the final blow. Byfield is relocating headquarters to Seattle next month. Fresh start, new team members, new everything. And new ironclad policy, we do not hire relatives. Ever. Delilah. My mother gasped. My company, my rules. You wanted Marcus to run a tech company so badly? Let him start one. From actual zero. Like I did. I walked to the door. Oh, and Dad, check your mail this week. You'll find a check for the original $10,000 plus 10 years of compounded interest at market rate. We're square. 3 years later, Byfield crossed $50 million in valuation. We'd gone global, saved thousands of small farms from bankruptcy, and I'd graced the cover of Forbes 30 Under 30. Marcus launched 4 more startups after that. The first 3 flopped spectacularly. But the fourth, an AI-driven last-mile delivery platform for rural grocers, actually started gaining traction. Real traction. One night he called. "I had investors sign the term sheet today," he said quietly. I read every page myself. Twice. Then paid 2 separate law firms to tear it apart. Even looked for a Section 47. I laughed, soft and surprised. "There isn't one this time." "I know. But I checked anyway." "You taught me that, Lila. Never sign anything you haven't bled to understand. Never take what you didn't earn. And never, ever assume family gives you a free ride." You finally learned. I had a terrifying teacher. We don't speak often, but when we do, it's different now. Respectful. He sends quarterly updates with honest metrics built by his own nights and ramen cups. I answer questions when he asks, stay silent when he doesn't. Our parents still grumble to their friends that I'm cold and ungrateful. They're not wrong. I am cold to anyone who mistakes my success for communal property. I am ungrateful to those who think love entitles them to ownership. Section 47 became startup mythology. Young founders DM me asking if the legend is true, if they can copy the language. I always tell them the same thing. The real Section 47 was never the legalese. It was knowing my value and making damn sure the world paid the proper price for underestimating it. Bytefield's new Seattle headquarters has one conference room everyone books months in advance. It's called Section 47. That's where we negotiate the hardest deals, where we defend what we've built, where we remember that love and business are separate ledger lines. And on the wall, behind bulletproof glass, hangs the original 23-page agreement, page 19 circled in red. Right there, in font so small it requires reading glasses and bad intentions to miss, sits Section 47 in all its merciless glory. A quiet monument to every time someone assumed I wouldn't fight back. Proof that sometimes the sweetest revenge is simply watching them realize, too late, that they should have read the fine print.